Welcome back to the Scramble Drill Podcast. Impromptu sort of episode. The June 1st deadline happened, so that's kind of where our heads immediately went. Some big earth-shattering news happened the past couple of days, and we decided it's time to talk about it. Landon, how we doing?
I love that the NFL gives you that like influx of free agency in like March or April 1st, whenever that is. And then they give you like the second free agency, second action time, June 1st. So one thing we expected to happen and one thing I did not expect to happen. So
I was blindsided.
ready to dive into it.
Yeah, we've talked about this before on the show, but the NFL does the offseason better than any other league. College, MLB,
So much better.
NBA, it doesn't matter. Like, they crush them all. Like, you mentioned, like, the March deadline and the June 1st deadline, and you have the draft, and then, like, I don't know, like, news pours out of training camps and stuff like that. So
Dude,
they keep you locked in.
Dude, the schedule release gets more run than like when Juan Soto signs in baseball. I mean, it's crazy how they dominate. They obviously dominate the sports world, but even the offseason, they knock it out of the park. So it's been a fun one.
Yeah,
Been a fun one.
viewership, it's not close during the season.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll go straight into it. We will say we were trying to figure out just a few other things to do at the end of the episode. So we do have a couple things we'll just add in just because we wanted to talk about it, and it's fun to throw a couple things in there. But we'll start with the main thing, which is the news. Do you want to go small, big, and then huge on the news, or start with the huge first? And
Let's start huge. Let's give the people what they want to hear. Let's start huge.
Okay. Myles Garrett is not a Brown anymore, Landon.
I have heard.
You remember how they said, "I'm not trading him, not trading him, not trading him, not trading him." Then they did a small rework on his contract, and then there was we're not trading him. And then yesterday, yesterday was a slammed work day. I'm on my phone for 5 minutes because that's about all I got for lunch, and I look up and it was like seconds after I sat down to eat. And I barely even ate because I just immediately zeroed in on my phone when I saw Myles Garrett is now a Ram.
Oh, crazy. I love it. I think it's better let's talk Rams side of this first. Okay?
Okay.
I'll start by saying this. When I first saw the package that was sent, I was like, I love that for the Rams. And the more I've looked at the package, they gave up a haul to get Myles Garrett, but I don't care. I love this for the Rams. Now, remember my gripe with the Ty Simpson pick. I'm like, dude, this is your window. Matthew Stafford, I know he just signed a small years-wise extension, not small money-wise, but small years-wise extension. This is your runway where you are trying to win a Super Bowl. And I could not wrap my mind around. I mean, they had 2 first-round picks, traded one for McDuffie. That we love. But drafting Ty Simpson, I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. And now it makes more sense because this has been in the works since the Browns, like you mentioned, did that sneaky little rework. Whenever that was, March, April, whenever that was. And I love this so much for the Rams. I am so tired of teams who are in the mix or in contention, managing their team with like they have a 7-year runway. Dude, when it's hot, when the fire's hot, that's when you get this stuff going. That's when you make these moves. You bring in Myles Garrett, who is, Ben, you pull up the Pro Football Reference page and you start looking at some of the accomplishments and some of the sack totals and some of the years he's put up. We're talking about one of the greatest players to ever live at the position.
Yeah, I mean, Myles Garrett's 30 years old, and he's already locked up a first ballot Hall of Fame. Like, I don't think that he just broke the sack record.
He is the second he's second all time in sacks through the first 9 years of your career. Second all time to Reggie White. And so, man, this is the Rams I know and love. This is like I thought the McDuffie move looked like, man, they swung big on that one. Well, this one was way bigger, and they give up, Jared Verse, who's a really good player. Now, you and I, if you'll remember back to the playoff runs, we were questioning, like, he was not popping off the screen to me. And that was one of the things that was one of my big keys going in, especially to the Chicago game. I was like, Jared Verse has to make an impact, and he really kind of didn't. But he's a really good player. They give up a future first, future second, and future third. But they get their guy, and my goodness, I mean, this team, the top end talent on this team it's unbelievable at this point.
I didn't take the time to look through any of the history books or anything like that, or I guess I could have Googled it. Has there ever been a team that had the reigning MVP and the reigning defensive player of the year on the same team?
I'm sure. Yeah, that seems like that definitely could have happened.
That still feels insane in this era of football.
Oh, no, it's still crazy. It's still crazy. And Myles Garrett, look, this is going to be a problem for the whole league. I mean, Garrett is a guy, he led the league in sacks, broke the sack record last year, and the Browns were always losing. Like, imagine what this guy's going to do when they have a lead and teams are passing on him.
Teams are running the ball on Cleveland.
I mean, is he going to have 28? I mean, what's this going to look like? So
he's going to break this. He's going to break his own record in 13 games.
He's going to look good in that jersey. I mean, this is going to be a problem for the league. And I know I saw the clip of Mike McDonald with the Seahawks, and they asked him about it, and he said, "Bro, I really don't care." Yeah, he does.
I saw that was no. I think that's an old clip because I saw somebody community noted that. That's an old clip.
Did they?
That.
Okay.
He did not say that about Myles Garrett.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, you do care. Like, of course, you better care. It better mean something to you. So,
Sam Darnold's not necessarily. It's not Lamar, or it's not Lamar or Michael Vick back there. He ain't outrunning Myles Garrett.
No. And so I love the move from the Rams side.
Have you seen the rumors? And obviously, it's all rumors, but Aaron Donald's adding fuel to the fire of him coming out of retirement to play on this defensive line.
Dude.
Wouldn't that
would be awesome.
That would be
sign me up.
Unreal.
Like, would he be full-fledged 100% Aaron Donald? Probably not, but if he could be like 80 or 85% of Aaron Donald. Yeah.
With Myles Garrett.
Oh, my gosh.
He's only 35. It's not like he's ancient. He's 35.
Yeah, and he's in great shape and all that. I've seen all those videos, so I love this. I love this for the Rams. I hate this as a fan of an NFC team, but for the Rams, this is what I wanted to see. Stuff like this.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and cough Buffalo cough. I mean, you have teams that are in this position and they just why don't more teams do I don't care that you don't have your late first round pick. Go get the impact player. And I know this is a little bit different. It's more than just a late first round pick. Like, this is, as it sits right now, this is probably the 32nd overall pick. But Jared Verse, I know we mentioned him. He's a young player. He is not a slouch at all. He is a very good pass rusher, very young pass rusher. So they give up him. They do give up a first round pick. They give up a second round pick, and they give up a third round pick. So it's not nothing. This feels crazy to say. I like the deal for Cleveland. He's not the same, but you get a young pass rusher. He's not as good as Myles Garrett, obviously. But you get a young pass rusher, you get draft capital on top of it. This is good for them.
Yeah, I'll go back to the Rams just for a second. It cannot be like, we can't just brush past their ability. Jared Verse, they didn't pick in the top 5 picks. I mean, Jared Verse, I don't remember exactly what pick he was, but he was a little later on. And they drafted him, they developed him, and he turned into a player who was good for them, and they were able to use to get Myles Garrett. Not every team had a young pass rusher like that sitting on the roster. So maybe Cleveland was like, we're not trading him unless we get a piece like that back. Credit to the Rams for having that piece, being willing to trade it. But at the end of the day, like you said, we talked about it. Like, it makes no sense other than selling jerseys and putting butts in seats for Myles Garrett to be on the Cleveland Browns. Now, I get it.
No.
He is, I'm ready to say it. I mean, okay, I didn't watch Jim Brown. Okay, so maybe it's him. I don't even know if Jim Brown was drafted. But I'm ready to say Myles Garrett is probably the best player they've ever drafted and been on their team. I mean, I know they have other Hall of Famers, Joe Thomas, among others, but Myles Garrett is what every team dreams of having. So, yes, obviously, do you want to keep that guy around? Yes. But with the state of their organization, how bad they were, it didn't make sense for him to be there. And man, they made a lot of it. Like,
they're not sniffing the playoffs. They're not even sniffing a winning season.
no.
So, I mean, who cares?
No. And so they get Jared Verse back. They add another first, another second, another third. And they've drafted relatively well the past 2 years. I mean, you want to say like you don't like Shador. They got him in the 5th round. It's not like they spent a
Who
top
cares?
10 pick on the guy. So like they've drafted relatively well. I mean, we like Judkins. We like some of their other things. Now they've said they're not trading Denzel Ward. We'll see. I think he, that would signify obviously big time rebuild, and they've got a track record of saying we're not going to trade a guy and then trading a guy. So I don't know. But I like it for them. I feel if I'm a Browns fan, like I know Garrett's your guy, he's your favorite player, but if you're going to trade him, this was the time to do it.
Yeah, and this was the kind of deal you're hoping to get back, because you do get the first, and it's not like you get the first from the team that's guaranteed to be just about guaranteed to be like at worst the 29th overall pick. You do get a guy who can be on your team for another 7-8 years in Jared Verse, assuming I mean something doesn't happen there. So yeah, it's good for them. I like it, but the man, dude, they were the number one sports betting. Like Vegas had them at the number one best odds to win the Super Bowl. And I think it moved like 50 points after the Garrett trade. I didn't even know that was possible for that to be a thing with a team that was already the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I would have them as like almost a tier of their own as far as right now, June 2nd.
Like roster construction, this is
Super Bowl picks.
This is the number one roster in the league by themselves.
Yeah.
Just roster. I mean,
yeah.
Let's not forget, like you mentioned it, they just added McDuffie. Made him the highest paid corner. Is he the highest paid corner now?
I don't know if he's the highest paid, but
I don't remember if they paid him the most. But they extended him, so they think highly of him.
Yeah, and I think I want to go back to the draft of Ty Simpson, because people talked about McVay's reaction and blah 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 and all that. Knowing this now, I think McVay's reaction was he probably liked Ty Simpson, and he probably agreed to drafting him based on them getting Myles Garrett. So I think his reaction at the time was like, okay, we better get him. Like, we better get Garrett, because this was in the works. There's no way this popped up overnight. Like, they had been in talks, I'm sure of it.
And again, this is like just beat reporting stuff, so there's no guarantee. But apparently the reporting is that the Rams have been trying to do this for a while. Like, the Browns have like brushed them off a few times, and the Rams just keep coming back and asking about Garrett and asking about Garrett and asking about Garrett. So I kind of would believe that's true.
Yeah.
So
I have to believe that's what McVay's reaction was he really does like Simpson, and he was okay with drafting him, but I think his feeling was like, I'm okay with drafting him. The GM's telling me we're going to get Garrett. We better get Garrett. I think that was kind of the reaction, and so I don't hate the Simpson pick as much now.
I agree with that from McVay too. Like McVay probably does like him, but he's like, I'm not in the mindset of looking towards developing the future of our franchise. The future right now is winning a Super Bowl. I don't need to focus on this right now. It's not my concern.
Yeah, if I'm go back to April, if I'm Sean McVay and Les Snead, isn't that the GM's name? Les Snead. He walks into my office and he tells me we're drafting Simpson, my answer is no. But if he says, hey, man, we'll get you Myles Garrett come June 1st, I would say, okay, draft whoever you want. Right. So I just feel like that's kind of what happened there.
Worth it.
So I don't hate the Simpson pick as much now. Especially because with the Garrett trade, like if they don't have a quarterback, they're not going to be able to get one once Stafford retires. Like they're not, other than a reclamation project what reclamation project wouldn't want to go there in a few years? But so I don't hate the Simpson pick as much as I did knowing they get Garrett.
Yeah, no, this is, I would like to know what this feels like. To be honest, as a fan of a team, I would like to know what this feels like.
Yeah.
But congratulations to the
crazy.
Rams. You have at least won you've won the offseason. Let's say that.
Yeah.
And I know people like to joke about the offseason award, but as long as Stafford stays healthy and Garrett stays healthy, this team is, on paper, they shouldn't lose a game. And the Seahawks are stacked.
Well,
the Seahawks are stacked. They shouldn't lose a game.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah. So that took June 1st by storm. There's a player who A.J. Brown has been talked about getting moved for 6 months. They were talking about that during the season, how bad things were going.
6 years since he was in Tennessee.
Yeah. So we knew this was in the pipeline, in the works, and there was reporting like 2 months ago that they'd worked out a deal with the Patriots. We just didn't. They're just waiting to June 1st.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what happened.
I don't think we need to dive into all the reporting around this one.
You mean
things
the
got a little
reporter in
sideways.
specific?
Yeah, things got a little sideways on this one, so I don't think we need to dive fully in. But yeah,
from just a football fan looking in, not a person looking at people, just football fan.
Not TMZ.
No. We are not that. It's good. I bet this. I bet AJ Brown is furious right now. Not because he's a Patriot, but because Myles Garrett stole every ounce of his thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. So let's talk Patriot side for a little bit. First thing, I am surprised it got done. I'm not surprised AJ Brown got traded, but I am surprised that the reporting from 2 months ago was accurate. 28 first. We knew it a long time ago. Now maybe they haggled a little bit over the 27 fifth or whatever, but when the reporting's out, there's a reason teams don't want the reporting out there, because other teams jump in. And I am surprised that another team didn't jump in. Maybe nobody thought he was worth the 27 first, which is fair. I don't think he's worth the 27 first. So
he is almost 29.
I'm a little surprised it got done
at the season.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it got done. But with that said, dude, this is really a dream scenario for AJ. This is like, there's that video of him getting the Julian Edelman jersey years back. Like, he loves the Patriots. He's always loved the Patriots. And he got there, and he is clearly the alpha. I know they brought in Dobbs. They have a couple other guys there that play roles. But here's the thing. AJ's going to come in. He is expecting 150 targets. I don't know if that's Josh McDaniels' plan, but that's AJ Brown's plan. And will he cause a fuss if he's not getting what he wants? I don't know. I've seen him do it.
I had actually mentioned
several times
to somebody. They were like, will AJ Brown be happy now? Like, he's gonna, he's on the team that just was runner-up in the Super Bowl. I'm like, that's not what AJ Brown seems to care about, because he was mad when they won the Super Bowl in Philadelphia.
Yeah. They won the Super Bowl, and they asked him, and he said the most important thing to him is not winning Super Bowls, it's dominating the opponent, whatever that means. So AKA I want the ball, is what that means. So
I mean, we've said this on the show before. What are the two things that receivers want? And they will let you know when they're not getting one of them.
they will let you know. They want their money and they want the ball. And that's it.
And if they don't get both,
so
that's going to be a problem.
He's got one of those. I'm 98% sure he's going to get both, but we'll see, man. I mean, it's a young quarterback. Drake has never had a guy that demanded the ball. Like, he's never had a guy on his team where, like, you have to get him the ball or it's your fault. Like, if you're not getting him the ball, you're the problem. Now he does. And, you know, some quarterbacks, that takes them to another level. You think about Diggs going to Allen. But we've seen other instances where it just doesn't work, where it's like you bring in a big-time receiver and they don't get the ball the way they want to or whatever, and the chemistry goes haywire. I'm going to trust the Patriots just because, again, I'm going to mention the name, but because Vrabel has shown, at least in the locker room, to the players respect him and things don't get out of hand. And has he lost a little credibility in the locker room this offseason? I don't know, maybe, but if not, I'm going to trust that culture for now. I have no reason not to trust
also, him. Mike Vrabel has handled A.J. Brown before.
That's true. And ever since that trade was made, A.J. Brown to the Eagles, everyone has always said, Vrabel did not want this. Vrabel wanted A.J. Brown on his team. Like, that's always been the case. So maybe they have a really good relationship. So I'm going to trust them that this is going to work. It's obviously a dream scenario for Drake May if the chemistry works. So they got better, man. They got better. I still would take the under on their win total and how far they went last year. But there's no doubt about it. They got better.
Yeah. No, I think they will. I do like that you mentioned Diggs and Allen in there, because I will say that it'll help. It can help for a time, but we did see where the chemistry also becomes toxic with those two. And Diggs had to
I was trying to think of the other example. I was trying to think of the flip side example. So Allen taking the big jump with Diggs, that's the one, like, everyone loves that because, right, he gets Diggs and he turned into the player he is now. But also, if you'll remember, when Odell Beckham Jr. left the Giants and went to the Browns, he had not fallen off. He was like a top 5 receiver in the game who demanded the ball. Baker had never had that. I mean, he had Jarvis Landry, but he didn't have somebody like Odell, and he couldn't figure it out. They could not make it work. Was that Freddie Kitchens? Was that whatever the coach was at the time? Maybe. So it's not a guarantee. That's what I'm trying to say. That, really good young quarterback, excellent receiver, it works automatically. It's not a guarantee, but I am going to trust the Patriots that they'll figure this out. Drake May will figure this out, and that offense could be explosive this year. They have real weapons now.
No, definitely. The excitement should be there. Don't hear what we're not saying with, like, some exercising a little healthy caution, but the optimism should absolutely be there for fantasy, for Drake May's fantasy, for A.J. Brown's fantasy, all of that. It should be there, but we're just saying there are situations where this hasn't worked in the past.
Yep.
The last big, anything else on A.J. Brown before we
you want to talk Eagles side of this?
Yeah. I've been thinking only about the Patriots. I didn't even consider the Eagles.
Yeah, so
I mean, Devonta Smith immediately steps into the number 1 role, at least for his sake.
Yeah, I mean, I do not worry about the receiving core at all. I like Devonta Smith. I think he's a legit one in the NFL. I would say he's probably like in the bottom third of legit ones. There might be 15 wide receivers in the NFL that we would say are
a lot of good receivers.
I'd say there's maybe like 15 that are legit ones. Like if they're your best receiver, you're set. Maybe closer to 20. But like not all 32 teams have one, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Eagles still do. We both like Mekhi Lemon. Now we have questions about what is he going to look like, his skill set matching up with Hurts.
And is he insane?
But then, there's that too. And I saw today he had a hamstring injury. I don't know what flared up.
I think they said he might miss
camp.
camp. We'll see.
Yeah. So there's that. But and then they bring in Hollywood Brown. They trade for Dontavian Wicks. Like there's other guys there, and then Dallas Goddard. They draft Stowers. So I'm not at
I
all
think they'll
worried
be
about
okay.
their receiving core. Their receiving core is good enough. What I am a little worried about is AJ Brown was really causing a fuss last year. And like I just didn't hear a lot of Eagles like
I saw some reporting and
distancing themselves from what he was saying.
yeah, I saw
Like
somebody say, and this was like somebody said that AJ Brown and Devonta Smith handle things differently. So like when AJ was unhappy with how things were going with Jalen Hurts, you see what he did, and now I was about to you say what you were going to say in a second, but like AJ would throw his public fit, he'd be reading on the sideline or posting cryptic tweets where it said Devonta's personality is he's more I will quietly go to Jalen Hurts in private and they discuss it that way. So maybe that dynamic is like having Devonta Smith as your one who like will just discuss it privately with Jalen Hurts. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that helps the offense. I don't know. I just did see that today,
maybe
so that's
that
why I wanted
helps.
to throw that in there.
I guess a more concise way of what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure the problem got fixed by AJ Brown leaving.
No.
It's
I did see what
possible.
you were saying.
No, it's possible that AJ Brown leaves and the problem's fixed. That AJ Brown and his just being loud and complaining about things that weren't true and things that he was misinterpreting, maybe that was the problem. Or maybe the problem is nobody likes Jalen Hurts and he was the only one saying it. And just because you get rid of the guy who's the only one saying it doesn't mean the problem's fixed. The problem's still there if that's the problem. So I'm interested to see. Maybe we come out this year and vibes are high in Philly and chemistry is perfect. And we say, oh man, it really was just AJ Brown. Or maybe we come out this year and nothing's really changed. Like nobody's being super loud, but chemistry's off. They're just not clicking this and that. And then we can say, maybe AJ Brown was right. So I don't know. I'm interested to see which of those two roads is the true one. I
It'll
guess
be
is what
one
I'm
of the
trying
more
to say with the
fascinating
Eagles.
storylines to pay attention to during the season.
Absolutely.
And like, can you
Absolutely.
imagine how this is going to look for AJ Brown, right? If things, or not AJ Brown, I'm sorry, for Jalen Hurts, if things don't get fixed in Philly, they're at least the same. I feel like the same is still not good because things weren't good last year, or worse. And AJ Brown and Drake May have just unbelievable
Yeah.
chemistry, and the Patriots are one of the top
Yeah.
teams in the league. That's going to look real bad for Jalen Hurts.
Right. Right. AJ has 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, and they win 13 games. Yeah.
That's going to be
not going to
ugly.
be great.
That's going to be tough.
Yep. So,
Yep.
I don't know. It's there. The Eagles are a fascinating case to me because there's been a little bit of reporting that AJ is kind of the problem. There's been, I think, in my opinion, more reporting that people really are not happy with Jalen.
I saw.
We'll see what
that
this
was the
solves.
majority of the reports I saw, and these were all
Right.
Philly, beat reporters and stuff. But like everything was pointing to they do not like Jalen in that locker room.
Right. So I'm pretty interested to see. We'll find out. This year's going to be very telling, and we will find out.
Just keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. Is what we'll say. Anything else there before we move on to the last little piece of news we had written down?
Nope. I don't think so. Like I said, I'm surprised that the reporting held and that nobody else jumped in and that the price wasn't greatly increased or decreased.
I had heard that
I'm a little surprised.
I had heard a couple like a week or so ago that the Patriots and Philly were interested in making a deal, but it wasn't there at the moment, and that other teams were jumping in, like the Rams, and I saw the 49ers name thrown in there too. Obviously, the Rams were not. I mean, maybe they spoke about it. I don't know, but the Rams had their eyes on something else big, and they got it. But I thought other teams would have been interesting too. But this is where we're at.
Yeah, the reporting was very accurate. It's amazing how some of these reporters get inside scoops like that. So
Yeah, what do you think Adam Schefter's doing?
Yeah, let's move on.
My Falcons made a signing today. They locked up the number one receiver, Drake London, 4 years, $141 million with $100 guaranteed. We got money, so I like it. He's the alpha. I'm a Drake London fan. You're a Drake London fan. So it's good. He got, I think, pretty in line with what he deserves. I don't think he's quite to the level of like the top guys, like your Jamar, JJ, CD, JSN, Puka, that level. My gosh, Puka's gonna get a lot of money.
He's gonna get a lot. Yeah,
he's gonna get a lot of money. But I don't think he's that level. But he's right below him, so he's up there. I mean, he's solidified himself as what, minimum of a top 8 receiver, I think, in the league.
Yeah, top 10. Yeah, he's definitely right around there, and he's, good for him. This is, as a fan, this is what you want. You want your team to draft players that turn out to be good, and you keep them around by signing them. And this is what you want, and it's more common in football than other sports, but. Feel good for Falcons fans. Feel good for Drake. Like, he's earned a not top of the market, but high up in the market deal. He got it, and they can move on. And now they've got, one more person they need to sign down in Atlanta.
Both of our minds when we saw this deal went to one guy, and it's not an anti-Drake London thing. Drake deserved what he got.
Two guys.
Mine
went to 2 guys.
Yours went to 2 guys? Mine honestly just
went to Bijan. Went to Bijan, and then it went to Gibbs. Like,
those dudes are going to get so, like, it's not a bad thing. I'm just thinking, like, my Falcons are going to have to pay so much money to keep Drake London and Bijan Robinson around is crazy.
Yep.
That's going to be a lot of money.
Yep.
They also deserve it. Interesting, he's making more money than Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, but they also signed their deals like 2 years ago, so 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, and that's what the market does. So that's where the market's at right now. And
Puka's gonna get so much money.
Yeah, he's got to be up there with JSN, I would think, right?
Yeah, JSN got JSN is the highest paid right now. He got 168, 120 guaranteed.
Yeah.
So Puka's probably gonna get 170, I would guess.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
Knowing Puka, it'll be 169, but yeah, 169, 170.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the last bit of news that I had written down or paid attention to. Did you have anything else you saw? We could spend another half an hour discussing Aaron Rodgers returning to the Steelers.
Let's not. Our stance has been clear
I have
on
nothing
that.
to say on that. I have nothing to say.
Our stance has been. Are the Steelers better if they sign Aaron Rodgers? Yes. Should they sign Aaron Rodgers? Absolutely not. Like, no shot. They did it. Great. You're going to win probably worst case scenario, you win 6. Best case scenario, you win 10 and get blasted in round 1. So, way to go, Steelers. You're the exact same spot you've always been in.
Yeah. Enjoy your season.
Yep.
Okay. Last thing, and you want to decide or say what we did here. We just decided like a couple of things we wanted to mention. We're a little inconsistent in the off season just because of work schedules, so we'll just go here and we'll find us another spot later.
This is our last one for several weeks. I mean, we'll be back in August probably, and just want to.
We'll be back weekly.
We don't have like off season. We don't have like off-season predictions. I don't really have my finger on the pulse of what's going on at this point. I mean, trades are just going to catch us off guard, I think. So
we're not a hot take podcast either, so we're not going to be saying like, oh, well, look here, the Raiders are going to be a sneaky wild card team. Like, that's not our podcast.
Right. Yeah. So we just want to go through and give the 3 players we would most want to win the MVP this year. If we could have anybody. 3 players who we would most want, and we picked only quarterbacks because that's all that wins it. And then 3 teams that we are pulling for most to win the Super Bowl outside of our favorite team. Like, Ben's not going to choose Atlanta. I'm not going to choose Washington. Obviously, those are number 1 on both our lists.
That's implied.
That is implied. But if those teams can't win, which they probably can't, who do we want to win? So,
well, our team's in the NFC, so it ain't happening. It ain't happening. You want to do players or
All
you
right,
want to
Ben.
do Super Bowl first?
Let's do the MVPs first.
A number one is obvious for me because he is my favorite player. It'd be Josh Allen. Like
Tua.
I want him.
Okay.
I want him to win the Super Bowl, but I mean, just continue cementing your legacy, dude. Like he doesn't have the Super Bowl yet, so I want him to have as much hardware as possible.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna have Tua. Obviously, I really like Josh Allen. I would like to see him win. I would like to see him win the MVP as well. It's just those things matter at the end of your career when you're gonna look at. Josh Allen's gonna be one of those guys who, obviously, if he gets a Super Bowl, but even if he doesn't, he's gonna be one of those guys without a Super Bowl who we're talking about. Is he one of the 10 greatest quarterbacks that's ever lived? And MVPs and those things are going to matter. So having more than one, I mean, that's a big deal for a quarterback, is having more than one. You don't necessarily have to go get 5, but being a multiple time MVP is a big deal. So, and obviously he's going to win more in his career. Why not make it this year? So that'd be a good one. But my number one, this one is probably obvious, and it's not crazy, Ben, because if he stays healthy, Jaden Daniels could win the MVP.
I knew that was going to be your number one. I honestly, I would have had him on my 3, but I knew you were going to say him, so I left him off. Right. I would love to see that.
He could win it. He's electric enough. New offense. For whatever reason, Brandon Ayuk's still not on the team, but we've
that voter.
I like
voter fatigue too.
I like
would not
where
be
we're
a
at.
thing with him. Like I think people would love to vote for a new guy like him.
Right. And if Washington comes out and, I don't expect this, but if they win 12 games, like people are going to be like, okay, there's a reason they won 12 games. And we saw what this team was 2 years ago. This guy played, they went to the NFC Championship. Last year, he didn't play. They won 3 games or 4 games, whatever they won. And then this year he plays, they win. So I think it'll be a pretty easy case to make if he plays really well and they have a good season. And I think he's definitely capable of doing it if he can stay on the field.
Yeah. No, he would have definitely been on my list if I didn't know you were going to put him on yours. So that's why I would love to see Jaden. And he's absolutely got the skill set to do it. I mean, we know he's a good passer. He's going to put up the rushing stats. I mean, he's not quite Lamar running the football, but I mean, he doesn't really need to be either. He's just good at everything.
Yeah. And Washington, they got a little 3-headed monster type deal at running back right now. Maybe Katron Allen is this guy. Maybe Bill's this guy. But, they don't have a great goal-to-go running back. I mean, again, maybe Katron Allen can be that. But I think there's going to be some opportunities for him to throw those little short touchdowns, run little short touchdowns. So I could see that number getting pretty high. So if they can have some team success when people aren't really expecting them to, he could win it.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. My number 2, probably not a shock either, is Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
we know
I knew it.
I'm a massive Herbert defender. He's always been one of those guys that's like he wows you on the field. Like if you watch Justin Herbert play, you're like, man, this guy he's not the best in the league? What do you mean to tell me he's not the best? He just hasn't quite gotten there still. Like the 0-3 in the playoffs is haunting him right now. So I would love to. An MVP would put a lot of those arguments to bed. It would put him in the Lamar category, honestly, of like people hound Lamar for not having great playoff success. So if he wins an MVP, like you can't not put him in that elite tech category of quarterbacks. He just would need the playoff success too. So I would like to see that for Herbert's sake.
Right. That would be awesome. Because I'm not as high on Herbert as you and Josh, but I do like Herbert. Let me ask you this. Let's say he goes out next year, wins the MVP. Let's say, obviously, they don't announce it until right before the Super Bowl. But let's say he has a season where everyone knows he won. Like, it's not like this year where Stafford may, who's going to win it? Like, everyone knows he won, right? Going into the playoffs, how are we viewing him in the league? Like, we know he's won the MVP, but has had no playoff success. Are you going into the playoffs thinking you're going to get a good version of Justin Herbert? if that's the case. Because
I
I
hope
still
so.
don't know if I would. I still
I
don't
hope
know if
so.
I'd be going into the playoffs thinking, oh, he's figured it out. I think I'd still be thinking, okay, we'll see. Like, you got to prove it to me. Kind of
Yeah,
like
and I
how I
think
feel about
that's-
Lamar.
No, that's what I said. I think that's fair. And obviously, I want Herbert to win a playoff. I want him to go. I wouldn't mind seeing Herbert win the whole dang thing. But I think if he got the MVP, that's at least one monkey off his back to where people at least would have to recognize him as at least in the Lamar category because, and Lamar's won playoff games too. So there is that factor of it. But you have to put him in there of him and Lamar, great regular season. They just haven't had the postseason success. So he at least cements himself in people's eyes like, oh, this guy's won an MVP. He's one of the better guys in the league.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So my number 2, I'm not, there's not any upsets here, Ben.
No.
Let me take you back to the last running back to win the MVP. The last running back to win the
Adrian
MVP was my guy, Adrian Peterson, right? Not had the great post career, but when this guy was playing, he was a monster. And the thing that was so special about that MVP was he was coming off an ACL tear. And then he ran for 2,000 yards and won the MVP. There's somebody else coming off an ACL tear that I would love to. I haven't seen it in about 3 years, Ben. The light show, the fireworks going everywhere, wide open touchdowns, long bombs. I want to see Patrick Mahomes do it again. Like I'm so sick of the. I know last year they didn't win, but they just came off making 3 straight Super Bowls where they were, low scoring, beat you with defense. Mahomes takes care of the ball. I'm tired of it. Like, I would rather them not have playoff success and him be awesome in the regular season at this point than have another one of those seasons. So just give me another Mahomes MVP. I'm so ready to see it.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. I come off as the Mahomes hater of the group in our podcast, and it's nothing against him. There's just players that I've more attached to. And it does get frustrating to me as a fan. I'm like, I know Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Like, I'm not arguing that. I'm not doing anything. But it is frustrating to watch them flop around for 3 quarters and then it be 13-10 in the 4th quarter. And then they're like, well, they'll just get Mahomes the ball back in 2 minutes. He'll go kick a field goal and win it. And he does that every single time because he's the best quarterback in the league. It still sucks. It's still annoying for me to watch, like, these other guys, be great and just come up a little bit short. And it's not going to hurt my feelings as much if it's, hey, Mahomes threw for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns and beat you guys. Yeah, he earned that one.
Oh, I would love
to
see
he
it.
earned that one.
I would love to see it. And Ben, I bet we have the same number 3.
Do you?
I bet we have the same number 3.
Okay.
So go ahead and say it, and I'll tell you if we do.
Mine's Joe Burrow.
That's mine, Joe Burrow.
Okay. I feel like he's like the anti-Herbert. Well, I guess just because he's been to a Super Bowl. Like he puts up better numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a stupid thing to say. But Burrow hasn't.
It's not. I understand what you're saying.
He hasn't had as much success as of late, but everybody knows who he is. His has been more of he plays for one of the worst organizations in football.
So why do we think there is one reason, one game we think of Joe Burrow as highly as we do? What is that game, Ben?
He beat the guy.
He beat Mahomes, and came back down 21-3 in the second half and beat Mahomes. Ben, this year, the playoffs will be played in 2027. That game was 2021. Think about that.
That's the level.
That's how long ago we're talking.
Aura beating Mahomes gets you. You
For
beat
real.
him one
For
time
real.
7 years ago? All right, he's the best guy I've
Right.
ever seen.
Right. So, but my point is,
Let's not forget, too, on that road, he beat Allen first, and then he beat Mahomes.
Yeah, and then he did beat Allen again, I believe, the next year. But my point is, since then, it's been a lot of injury-plagued seasons. It's been a lot of missing the playoffs. It's been a lot of that. It's been a lot of the Ravens dominating that division and Pittsburgh sneaking a division last year.
Yeah.
I'm.
He feels
I
a lot
would love
like
to see.
he feels a lot like early career Stafford to me. Like we
He
know
does.
he's the he's the guy. It's hard to succeed in that Bengals organization. It just is. The same way it was hard for Stafford to
It
succeed in the
is
Lions.
right, and I think it's going to be one of those things where if he goes out there, wins the MVP, leads them to however many wins, whatever, and they fall short in the playoffs, and it's still whatever, they're running it back with Zach Taylor again, and this and that, and ownership's not doing this. I think it could be one of the situations where things get ugly here in the next couple of years, if he performs that well. But I would love to see him win the MVP because I like Joe Burrow. We've liked him since college. I've always liked him. But you have to be honest and say the last few years, he has not come off great. Like, it's not been his fault necessarily, but you just can't miss the playoffs 3 straight years when you're that good as a quarterback. And so regardless of his injuries or what it is. So I would love to see him come out. He's the type of guy, he could go throw for 5,000 yards and throw 43 touchdowns and win the MVP. I mean, that's the type of guy he is. I would like to see it this year. That'd be a lot of fun.
I cannot stand hearing Shannon Sharp up there saying the reason the Bengals aren't winning is because of Joe Burrow after he throws 428 yards and 4 touchdowns and had 1 interception off a tip ball. He's like, he turned the ball over. They lost the game, 42-38. Like, I don't think I can stand another season of that. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to blame Burrow for not making the playoffs, right? 3 years. I'm not sitting here saying it's his fault, but it is what happened. And so I love him. I would love to see him go out there and really light it up this year. And he's a guy, he's never had an MVP. I don't know how close he's ever been. Like, I don't know if he even has a top 2 or top 3 finish. I'm not sure about that.
I
Maybe
don't
he does.
think he has either.
But
I know he's won comeback player of the year at least once.
Yeah. So now this comes along with team success. So this would mean the Bengals minimum win 11 games and probably 12 if this actually happens. But I'd like to see it.
Yeah. I'd like to see it for Burrow's sake. I want their season to go one of 2 ways. I either want, number one, I want to see Burrow and them, have a great season, win the playoff, or I want them to win like 3 games and run Zach Taylor out of town. Like that. That's one of the things that might need to happen too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So yours are Jaden, Mahomes, Burrow. Mine's Allen, Herbert, Burrow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'll take that.
I knew we'd have the same 3. The number 3. I knew it. I thought you might have him at 2, actually. But
my only reason for that was I think Burrow, and again it goes back, he beat Mahomes, and he's had like people are less willing to blame the Bengals stuff on him because of how bad his organization is. So he has less to prove than Herbert does. So I'd like to see Herbert do it to prove a lot of people wrong.
Right. All
right. 3 teams we want to win the Super Bowl. I think my number one's obvious.
Aside from some Washington and Atlanta.
I think you can guess my number 1.
So, yeah.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills. Yeah,
the Buffalo Bills.
That was obvious. I can probably guess your 2 and 3 as well. But
I almost put the Bills out of it because like they're kind of my other team because of Allen. Yeah, but we didn't say the Falcons. Like, I can't say the Falcons, so I'm going to put the Bills.
Yeah, for me, it was the team I was pulling for last year. It is one of the reasons I was so excited about the Myles Garrett trade. I want to see the Rams win another one. Like, I know they're in my conference. Obviously, if they play Washington, I'll be pulling for Washington. But one, I just like the Rams. I've always liked Stafford ever since he was in college. I liked him. I always thought he got a raw deal in Detroit. I think he's proven that at this point. I wanted him to win the MVP last year. He did that. I wanted them to win the Super Bowl last year. They obviously fall a little short, but I like him. I like McVay. I like the Rams. And I like when teams get rewarded for trying to win, for taking big swings, trying to win. They've already done that once with Jalen Ramsey and Matthew Stafford, obviously. And I'd love to see it happen here again. And I would have said this before they got Myles Garrett. I would have had them at 1. But especially now that they did that, I'm excited for the Rams this year, and I'd love to see them win it all.
Yeah, it's all depending on health, but I mean, yeah, they're gonna be a problem, and I wouldn't mind it too. Like that, send him out on a Super Bowl. That'd be okay.
Yep.
I'd be okay with that. My number 2.
Do you think he would
again,
retire?
Yeah,
You think
I
he'd
think for
retire?
sure he retires.
You think so? Okay.
If he wins the Super Bowl, yeah,
Maybe.
you gotta go, man. I would if I'm him.
Right.
My number 2 is I'd love to see him win a Super Bowl. I just want to see him win a playoff game, and that's the Chargers.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of overlap with your MVP and your.
I did change number 3. I did change number 3 for that reason.
You did.
Because when I was writing them down, I'm like, dang, it's just going to be the same 3 quarterbacks on the same 3 teams. I did change 3 for that reason, just to have something different.
Right. Did they? Okay, I know they lost to the Patriots. They didn't win a playoff game last year. That was their first playoff game. So they still have not won a playoff game with Justin Herbert.
No, they've been to 3, and they've lost all 3 of them.
And they're 0-3. Okay. Yeah.
Because the first one was when Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions. They were up like 27-3 at halftime. Jacksonville came back and beat them. And then the next one was against Houston when Herbert threw 4 interceptions. They lost that game. And then the last one, obviously last year, everybody was banged up and they lost to the Patriots.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my 2. Just win a playoff game, Herbert. I wanted to win a playoff game. I don't want it to be Herbert is the reason they win the playoff game.
Yeah, that'd be nice. My 2, there's a lot of overlap also with my 2 and my MVP. Just give me the Chiefs again. I know everybody hates it. I know it'll only be because of the refs if they win. I know at least you know those who don't like Taylor Swift will hate it, but I don't care. He's my guy. I am okay with dynasties. A lot of people don't like them. I love them. So, give me
I've
number 4.
I've never been a part of one.
Yeah. We're also, still, I mean, I know it's taking a little bit of a hit. Still trying to chase Brady. So, we'll see.
I think he can.
You can't win 7 if you don't win 4.
Road. Yeah. It's going to be a long road.
Yeah, you can't win 7 if you don't win 4. So.
My number 3, just to shake things up. I mean, obviously, I would like to see Cincinnati do it, but I think it would be a fun storyline, at least to me, if Detroit did it. I would like to see that. Number 1 for the city of Detroit, and obviously the whole thing, how bad their franchise has been, never won a Super Bowl. And then you had a couple years ago when they were this close to making it and they lost to San Francisco. They were so close. They had just a juggernaut of a team, came up missing, and then the rest of the division has caught them. Green Bay's really good. Chicago's really good. They've lost Ben Johnson. They've lost Aaron Glenn. They've lost a lot of coordinators. I think they still have a good roster. They have a lot of players that I really, really like. I'm a big fan of Dan Campbell. I'm a big fan of Jared Goff. If you've ever played fantasy with me, I love me some Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is my absolute boy. I love it. I'm Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's a lot of good players on the team I like. They have a good team. I think it would be fun to see them kind of come back from. They haven't fully fallen off, but kind of back from the muck and show everybody they can still do it.
Yeah, I almost wrote them at 3 as well because I'm pulling for it. I do like the story. I do like the thing. I thought it was a little more far-fetched than some of the others. I don't know how high I am on them this year. I need to see a lot from that offensive line that's been rebuilt over the last couple of years, but it definitely would be fun, and I definitely would love that. I definitely would enjoy it.
When Detroit is clicking, they are one of the more fun teams in the NFL to watch. Maybe
for
the most
sure.
Fun.
For sure, yeah. And so my number 3, at some point it's got to happen. I would love this for the fan base. I would love this for the quarterback. And I would love this for my podcast mate, Ben Watts. I want the Bills to win. It's time. He's got to win one. He's too good of a player to never win one. That fan base is too good to have all the heartbreaks they've had over the last 35 years. And so I would like to see the Buffalo Bills
New stadium.
win a Super Bowl. If it can't be Washington, and it can't be the Rams, and it can't be the Chiefs, I would like it to be the Bills. And I would actually love it to be Rams-Bills because that would be an awesome Super Bowl.
That would be. Don't do my boy like Josh Allen like that. Don't send him out there against Myles Garrett and those guys get him murdered.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
crazy though. That would be good. Though to be fair, if he's going to win a Super Bowl, that's probably who he's going to have to go through. That's probably
got a real chance.
Probably your opponent at the end of the road there.
I mean, there's some NFC teams that are going to have something to say about that, but it's a real possibility that's going to be the case.
What's crazy, we actually started this. We were going to put our top 5 in each conference, and after about 20 minutes of discussing, we decided we couldn't do that. So the NFC is
the
NFC is very top heavy. From like 3 to 8, there's like a ton of teams that could go right there. It's wide open.
Yeah, crazy.
The AFC's really we couldn't agree on who was number 1 in the AFC.
Yeah, so
all right,
there you have it.
I think anything to add, Landon, before we log off for a few weeks here?
No, I mean, the rest of the off season, there'll be some stories that pop up. We probably won't be able to cover them. Be back in August, getting ready for just putting the final touches on the off season.
Well, maybe something like
by that time
what we want to see happen. We'll know a lot. We'll know a lot then.
By that time, it's Christmas Eve, and we're just waiting. So, we'll be excited.
Honestly, preseason is the longest month of the year. Like
oh my gosh, it is.
I like
August
when that
takes forever.
I like when I see that, like, oh shoot, the first preseason game is tonight, and it just reminds me. So I've got to get through this week of preseason games, the next week of preseason games, the week after that of preseason games, and then I have a whole nother week off before it starts. It's brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
It is that. So,
but
all right.
That's all we got. We will catch you guys. Yep. We'll catch you guys in a few months.